All right, and what is up, everybody? We are in the here. Let me pull up the game real quick. We are at the end of the first quarter, so we are in a commercial timeout. I'm just getting started here. 36-27 is the score. We'll have that on the screen for you momentarily. Right now, I'm just trying to get everything set up. Just got home, so we will get going with commentary here after this break. But it's obviously been a rough start for the Jazz once again, still struggling to get out of this stint that they've been in. And, I want to make a video to touch on this. I just haven't really had the chance. But what can the Jazz do to get out of this slump? And, the first thing is that you got to win these games. Even if you don't have Donovan, you got to win these games. And it's against a young Rockets team, a hungry Rockets team. But it is no excuse for losing a game like this. You got to be better. So we'll see what they do. But I'm just getting everything set up real quick. Gonna get this just turned to black for now. Just takes a second to get everything ready. So I'll change that in just a second, but I appreciate you guys being in here. If Embiid was on the Jazz instead of Gobert, they a championship team. I don't know. I mean, it's just a different, definitely a different two players, but when you really look at it, just two different play styles. And if you look at how Quinn Snyder has his deal arranged here in Utah, it's centered around Rudy Gobert and, what he does. So it's hard to say. It would really be a trial and error type of thing where we would just kind of have to see what would happen. Okay. So we got this. Let's get one more thing in here, and then we will get going. I'm going to get these scores up for you guys. It's quite I'm glad I was able to actually make it to this one because it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent game here, but it's unfortunate that the Jazz are just struggling still to get going, but we are getting closer to action here once again in the second quarter. 27. You guys get to see an inside look into what it takes to run games. So, hope you are enjoying that. But we are... All right, now I can get the game going and get to commentary tonight. I am so happy to be here with you guys. We're trying to get our continuity going. We will not miss a single game until the end of the season now. So we will not miss another game this year after that last game that we missed against the Lakers. It was just too late. I wanted to do it, but I was not able to, unfortunately. It started at 9:30 my time, which is just too frigid late. So I just had to say no. But in the future, we will be able to, we hopefully will be able to get that late. So Rudy at the line, 36-27 is the score. Now 36-28 as Rudy knocks down that first one. So Rudy, Donovan, and Conley all making their cases for the All-Star team. Mike Conley will likely not make it, but Donovan and Rudy most likely will. So if you haven't already, go vote for those guys online. You can do that at NBAAllstar22.com. Here are the Rockets on the floor for them right now. Eric Gordon, Kenyon Martin Jr., Sengun, Matthews, and Christopher. In goes Christopher, and he can't finish at the rim, so the Jazz are going to be able to clear it. Here is Clarkson looking to go inside, lobs it up for Rudy Gobert, and he slams it home. Got tapped by Sengun, but they're not going to call it. So 31-36 is the score. Man, my nose is like still clogged. And now that was a three that did not go for the Rockets. Daniel House pokes it. He just signed another 10-day contract with the Jazz. And by the way, those contracts, no shallow money. They pay over $100,000 for every 10 days that you play as House squares up a three, launches, and that one will bounce out. Denzel Valentine also on the bench on the same type of contract. So very interesting developments for the Utah Jazz as here is Eric Gordon. Gordon swings it over to Kenyon Martin Jr. Now over to Christopher. Christopher looking to go inside. He swings it over to Sengun. He puts up a three, and that one will splash home. Sengun from the right side, 39-31. It's an 8-point game. That was impressive. And now a drive by Daniel House Jr. puts it up and in, 33-39. The Jazz still struggling on defense in this game. Gave up 36 first quarter points, which has got to be pretty high in regards to Quinn Snyder's coaching, as Gordon is going to go inside and get the bucket on the other end. Again, just struggling on that defensive end. And now here is Clarkson, gets it poked away, and here come the Rockets, and they are going to be fouled. The Jazz stopping that fast break. They like to do that with that foul. So we will be at the line, I think. Yes, no problem, Burn. Huh. Doak is playing better than Rudy? I don't know. I mean, Rudy is putting up double-doubles every game with 16 rebounds. So I think that Rudy's playing pretty well, but I don't know. Here is Eric Gordon. He swings it over to Sengun. He looks to go inside. Sengun puts it up off of Rudy Gobert, and nothing doing right there. Clarkson is able to get the rebound as Jalen Green is going to check into the game. But now here is Joe Ingles. Ingles gets a screen from Gobert. Now over to Conley. Over to Ingles. Now back into the corner. It's Conley, and they give it down to Gobert, and he puts up the easy gimme down in the paint. 35-41 is the score as here come the Rockets. Jalen Green looking to go inside. He's going to have to pull it back out. Good defense by Joe. And now over to Sengun. He wants to square up a three. Pump fakes. He won't take it. Hands it off for Christopher. Christopher looking to go inside. Christopher fades away. Tough elbow jumper. That one will fall. 43, another young guy, Josh Christopher. And now here is Joe Ingles on the other side. He swings it over to Mike Conley. By all accounts, the Jazz should be winning this game, as here is Daniel House Jr. puts it up, and that one won't go. I mean, these are a bunch of reserves playing right now, except for Jalen Green and Eric Gordon. So it's frustrating when they don't win games like this, but they're going to give it down to Christopher. He swings it out to Sengun. Sengun now looking to go inside, and he puts it right off of Rudy Gobert. That one's going to be stolen away by the Jazz. 43-35 as here comes Daniel House Jr. He kicks it over to Conley. Spin move, three ball. That one won't go, but Gobert is there, gives it over to Daniel House Jr., and he puts it up and in. So 37-43, 6-point game, fast-paced action here as we are about 4 minutes through the second quarter. As Jalen Green is going to pull up from way outside, you betcha. Man, that was deep. And Jalen Green gets the Rockets up to 9 for 15 on three-point field goals. The Jazz sitting at 2 and 11. Again, got to shoot better as Udoka Azubuike stands to check in. Now here is Gobert, hands it off. Ingles looking to go inside, puts it up, left hand. That one's good. Again, Ingles has one of the purest left-hand finishes in the league. Really knows how to get that shot. Jalen Green puts up a shot too strong down low, and it's going to be pulled down by Rudy Gobert. He hands it off. Jordan Clarkson going inside. Puts it up high off the glass, and he is fouled. 39-46. The Jazz playing from behind once again. And while last week we were seeing what happens when the Jazz don't have when they don't have Rudy Gobert, now we're seeing what happens when they don't have Donovan Mitchell. And obviously a little bit of a struggle as the Jazz are going to call a timeout. 7:12 left to go in the second quarter. That's tough. You know, it's never easy to lose one of your stars. It doesn't matter who it is for the Jazz. They both play a huge role in this deal. I don't know. Oh, nice. Nice pulse. Okay. Thank you for that, Kenny. I'm gonna try to get it down. I keep this arm I have keeps wanting to go too far over. Hey, I appreciate every single one of you guys in here. There's 23 of you. Thank you so much. Addison is at dress rehearsal tonight, which is very important for his theater show. So he will be back in 2 games. He will, so 1 game now. He will be pretty much here to stay. He'll be ready to do commentary for every game. If we take a look at kind of what our schedule is here, it's lightening up for us, so we're going to be able to do basically everything till the end of the season, with some videos in there as well. And I'm going to make something about possible trades, because right now I'm hearing a couple rumors about Bojan Bogdanovic and Joe Ingles, so we'll see kind of what happens in regards to those. But those are just kind of coming as we go, so we will see. Okay. So, the next game for the Jazz will be at Detroit. That's on the 21st, so 2 days from now. That would be a Friday. Then at Golden State on the 23rd. That one will be at 8:30 Central. No, 7:30 Central. Oh, perfect. Okay, that's nice. And then Phoenix right after that on the 24th. So mark those 2 games on your calendar. 2 huge matchups for the Utah Jazz. We will be covering them here on the Jazz Huddle. So make sure you guys, if you haven't already, subscribe and just be on the lookout for those. 23rd and the 24th, big days for the Utah Jazz. What's going on? Valentinus Robinson from Jamaica. Appreciate you being in here. And now we are getting back to action. Look at the Republic of the Philippines. It's an island country in Southeast Asia. A lot of you guys are over there. More than 7,000 islands and islets, and an estimated 150 different languages and dialects spoken. The PBA is the first professional basketball league in Asia and the second oldest continuous league existing to the NBA. Big basketball roots down in the Philippines. We appreciate all of our Filipinos out there. You guys are the best. And JC does a great job for us, so tonight he's going to have a big game in order to beat this young Rockets team. Udoka Azubuike checking back into the game, as well as Bojan Bogdanovic, who's currently second on the Jazz in scoring right now, behind Rudy Gobert with 13. And Trent Forrest has 2. Clarkson checking into the game. So far he's got 1, but he made that free throw, so he should be at 2. Yep, so 2 points now for JC. Hasn't made a field goal yet, but he's only shot 2, so nothing to be worried about. Bojan, 4 for 11. The Jazz just not too hot from the field. Here is Jae'Sean Tate, puts it up. Tough shot over Azubuike. That one won't fall. Azubuike, the second-year player out of the University of Kansas. He was a guy who I love that we drafted, but we just haven't really played him, as Clarkson is going to get an early 3 ball. You betcha. Clarkson, JC, flame on. And that is just so important for him to get easy 3s to go at the start of a game. Very, very crucial. And I should update this record here. 13-32 is the record of the Houston Rockets. But, I mean, in all seriousness, and a team that's not, I wouldn't say trying to tank, but still rebuilding, it is 13 wins is not that bad at this time of the year. And Eric Gordon, it looks like there's going to be a tech called on somebody on the Utah Jazz. Looks like it's going to go on Clarkson. Last 3 home games for Clarkson, 20.7 points a game, 59% on 2-pointers, and 36% on 3-pointers. So hopefully tonight he can get the job done. I mean, the Jazz really do need it. 44-47 is the score, as Jalen Green is going to get his pass poked away. Jae'Sean Tate, a guy who I really like, driving inside, puts it up with his left hand, and that one will fall. Again, big body. He's very, very versatile. 49-44, Jae'Sean Tate with an early bucket. Here is O'Neal. He swings it over to Clarkson. Clarkson working around a screen. He goes inside on Jalen Green. Has nowhere to go. He has to swing it out. Here's Trent Forrest. He goes inside, looking for more of a scoring role from him as he goes up with it. Gets his own rebound after a nice block from Tate. Now he puts up a shot. That one's too strong, or actually too short, And it's going to be rebounded by Jalen Green. Jalen Green, they give it over to Jayshawn Tate. He puts it up. That one won't fall. Clarkson has it. He gives it down to Forrest. Forrest puts it up with the left. That one will fall. So Forrest gets the Jazz within 3 once again and gets his 4th point of the game right there. He's 2 for 4 on field goals. Not too bad of a start. But Jayshawn Tate left wide open for 3, and he can't knock it down. And the rebound batted out by Bojan Bogdanovic over to JC. JC looking to go inside on Sengun. He puts it up with the right. Yeah, that smooth finish, you betcha. Jordan Clarkson inside. 48-49, 1-point game. The Jazz on an 11-3 run in the past 2 minutes and 20 seconds, as there is a pass batted out by Udoka Azubuike. Now over to Jalen Green. Green works around a screen from Sengun. He's going to give it over to Christopher. Christopher puts it up with his right, and that one will fall on the second effort. Christopher looking like he's going to be a pretty decent player for these guys too. Again, a lot of young guys. There is not a single guy other than Eric Gordon who is over 25 on this team, I don't believe, which is just insane as Clarkson puts it in down low, gets the Jazz within 1. I mean, the Jazz are playing really, really well on offense, just struggling on this defensive end as an open 3 was given to Jalen Green. Couldn't knock it down, though. And now here comes Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson working with it. Looking to go inside. Clarkson gets that one poked away, and he's going to foul Christopher right there. Clarkson just let that one get away from him a little bit. Sengun playing good defense up top. That's a big guy to be guarding Clarkson, by the way. We play Golden State Warriors and Phoenix next weekend. Potential second-round matchup. However, this team is struggling so far. You are absolutely right about that, Andy. And, you know, the thing that's really frustrating is because we've had the guys who we need to perform, and they just haven't performed. I mean, it's pretty plainly, it can be plainly stated. And it's something that the Jazz really need to figure out because it is not looking good right now. But we are back to action here, 51-50, as Bogdanovic is going to get his pass stolen away. Here's Jalen Green, the other Filipino in the game. He puts it up. Tough shot. Gobert is able to grab the rebound and a foul. Yes. Yeah. The ball poked out, it looks like, by Jayshawn Tate. So it will go to the Jazz. Tate saying he didn't touch it. But Jalen Green, man, from the Philippines, another Philippine in this game. These are the only two Filipinos in the NBA at the moment, or the two best ones, I should say, as of right now. But they do have a ton of young talent in the Philippines. You just got to go down there and harvest it. But we'll see what happens. I'm very excited to see where the Philippines goes with their basketball talent, though. As here is Bogdanovic. He kicks it out to Conley. Now over to Ingles. He puts it up. Tough 3. That one won't fall. And it's going to go back to the Jazz. Poked out by the Rockets once again. All right. So here's Conley. Conley gives it over to Gobert. He's going to hand it off back to Conley. Conley stepping in and out of the three-point line. He's going to swing it over to Bogdanovic. He puts up a tough shot over Christian Wood. You betcha. And Bogey puts the Jazz on top by 1. The crowd getting into it a little bit here at Vivint Smart Home Arena. Now here is Jayshawn Tate looking to go inside. He spins, puts up a tough left-handed shot, and that one won't fall. So Ingles is able to pull down the rebound. 2:50 left in the second. Ingles swings it over to Bogdanovic. Now back over to Ingles. Ingles goes over to the hash. He's going to get a screen from Gobert. Ingles lobs it down to Gobert. Now a kick out. It's O'Neal. 3-ball. You betcha. And O'Neal drains it. That puts the Jazz at 3 3-point makes on the night and an 18.5 run. 5:08 minutes on that. So 5 minutes and 8 seconds. That's pretty impressive. Oh my goodness. Christian Wood explodes to the rim. 53-55. And now here is Conley. He swings it over to O'Neal. O'Neal gives it over to Bogey. 3-ball. That one won't go, and it's going to be pulled down by Christopher. Christopher going down the floor. He's on the right side, guarded by Ingles. Christopher looking to go inside, puts it up. Tough shot with the right hand, excuse me. And now down to Jayshawn Tate, over to Christian Wood, and he's swatted away by Rudy Gobert. What a block. And now a handoff. Here is Bogey. He puts it up with the left. That one will fall. 57-53. Christian Wood got really pissed at Rudy Gobert right there because he just swatted him really bad. And now here is Christian Wood with the ball on the right side. He totally just switched his pivot foot. They didn't call anything, though. And now here is Jalen Green. He goes inside, puts it up into Rudy Gobert, lowers his shoulder, and gets the bucket. Hard-fought bucket. Should have been an and one. They didn't call it. And 1:15 left to play in the second, but we head to a timeout. That was impressive by Jalen Green. Very impressive. Just lowered his shoulder, got the bucket. You know, it's interesting when you see guards go in and just get that done. You know, it's good to see. 55-57 is the score. We got a good game on our hands, but what we don't have right now is enough likes. We got 18, but 41 in here, you guys. Can I get 2 people to smash it up? Let's just try to get to 20 likes. Actually, just one person. Just smash it for me. I would really appreciate it. Royce O'Neal plus Ingles combined. Prime Hayward equals... Yeah, I mean, that might be true, Andy, but... one person and 2 guys is good, you know? He is a pretty solid role player. You are right about that, Andy. What's up? I'm Dat Dude. Appreciate you being in here. Able to strafe. This team makes me want to cry. Same, man. Yeah, it's hard to watch sometimes. I don't accept first round losses unless it's a good team. I agree with that, Bradley. And honestly, you gotta get it done. You really do gotta get it done in the first round. And not only that, but second round matchup. Obviously, this last year against the Clippers, this is something that the Jazz should have won easily. They were up, should have gotten it done. Listen, I'm that dude. Hey, I really wanted to stream that game. Unfortunately, it started at 9:30 for me. So basically, what that would end up for me would just be like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was a school night for me, so I just couldn't do it. But if I could, I would. Trust me on that. Rockets makes you mad. Yeah, I agree with that, Cash Prod. It's hard to watch young teams, but hey, eventually the Rockets are going to be very good. Salute to you, Music by P. Appreciate you being in here. I don't see it. I don't see it, Viper. Hold on, let me look. I don't even know what you're talking about. I am in a commercial break. I can't see it. Maybe your League Pass has something different, but I can't see it. Replace Ingles with Prime Hayward. Jazz equals champs. I think you're probably right about that though, Andy. Even though it's hard to listen to, I think that if you do replace him with Prime Hayward, I've always said that. I mean, if the Jazz could have had Donovan, Rudy Gobert, Prime Hayward, and also like Prime D Faves, that's a championship level team through and through. Jazz need to get there. Yeah, they do. Let's see. All right. He is doing a musical, though. That's where Addison is tonight, but he should be back soon as we are back in this second quarter. Here is Jalen Green. Green, once again, another guy from the Philippines, one of only 2 active players in the NBA right now from the Philippines. But again, it's a place where I think we will see a lot more players coming from. Whether you look at a guy like Kai Soto, who I think will be in the league in the next couple of years here, or anybody else in the Philippines. I really do think they have a chance. As here is a kick out to Joe, 3-ball, bang! And that's just something that you gotta love to see. Gobert down in the paint, dishes it out to his man, Joe Ingles, who's been in trade talks, as far as I've heard. But the Jazz able to get the job done and that's very important. 55-62, and now here is going to be the inbound from Matthews. He gives it down to Jalen Green. Green has nowhere to go. He has to swing it back out. Here is Kevin Porter Jr. KPJ, another very good player for this Rockets team. KPJ looking to go inside, gets a lane, slams it home, but it's a dead ball, so the points will not count. That three was 26 feet out from Joe Ingles, so very impressive stuff right there. Take a look at this. Yeah, so that's very, very good that the Jazz are starting to make some threes, though, as Eric Gordon is going to inbound it to Christian Wood. Wood going to walk out this last 9 seconds of the half as they're going to give it down to Eric Gordon. He goes inside, slams it home with 2 seconds left. Wow. 57-62, and Conley will just sit it out. Oh, no, he's going to give it to Ingles, and he got fouled there, didn't he? No, he did not. All right. 57-62 is the score as we head into the second half. So we will head to halftime here. I am going to update the thumbnail so that we have 2 players who are actually playing. Donovan is not. So I'm going to do that as we are here, but I'll definitely look at some stats for you guys. It's been an interesting game, and just one that the Jazz have kind of struggled with a little bit, you know, getting to their spots and just making shots. It's not always easy, so it's you know, I think that they're doing a pretty nice job. It is Filipino night in Utah, so I think it's cool that they do that. Very cool that they do the Filipino night. All right, let me get this going, and then Rockets. Here we go. Yeah, see, like, they don't have John Wall anymore. That's what one of my thumbnails is for this. I like the other one that we have rolling right now. So I'm gonna do that one instead. But I do appreciate every single one of you guys being in here. And if you have not already, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button also. That really does help us out more than you know. So make sure, if you have not already, to go ahead and hit that, because it does really mean a lot to us. I know it probably doesn't mean much to you guys, but it really does do a ton for us small creators. So if you hit that, it tells us you like what we're doing, so we'll keep doing it. But yeah, I really would appreciate if you guys would hit that up. All right, now I'm just gonna make this real quick. Shouldn't take too long. But Rockets fans, how do you think this team is doing? How do you think the rebuild is going? And where do you think you're gonna be a year from now? Like, what are your thoughts? Tell me in the comment section, because I really do wonder what you guys are thinking. Because I mean, you got a very, very good young, talented roster, but I just wonder what Rockets fans think the best next step is for this organization. I mean, it's a historically successful organization. Obviously, I mean, you have guys like Dikembe Mutombo. James Harden also played there for a long time. The Rockets have beat the Jazz in several series before, which have all been horrible to watch, at least for me, because I'm a Jazz fan. But you know, they're a historically successful team. I think they're going to get back to their winning ways here very soon, but you just can't know until it happens. So we'll see. Oops. All right, now I'm going to put a new player on this thumbnail. And then we will get back to our normal programming. This halftime show will start in just a sec. I need to make sure that this thumbnail is good, though, especially if we go into a tight situation here in the second half. You always want to have a thumbnail that is actually representative of what's going on, you know. So I will get that rolling here in just a sec. 47 in the chat. Appreciate every single one of you guys being in here. Danny Ainge effect. Bring back Stockton. That's right, man. Interesting how the Jazz are so inconsistent with where they were a month ago. Night and day difference. I would just love to chalk it up to injuries, but it seems like so much more. And you're right about that, Mike. I mean, and it's just kind of hard to watch because you'll watch this team absolutely kick the crap out of a team one day, and then now you just look at how they're playing, and it's not the same, you know? And, you know, right now they're looking a lot better. I would say in this second quarter, they've really picked up their game a little bit. 35 to 21 was the scoring difference in that quarter. So that's solid, but at the same time, I mean, for the Jazz, just losing to all these teams, it is just not it's tough to get your feet under you again. So it's important that the Jazz take games like this to tune up and get it done. That's right. Nice job tonight, Blake, after a full day of school and 4 hours of work that actually pays. You are right about that, Grandpa. Thank you for the support. Lose Bogey and Ingles. But I just don't know, Viper, because I've seen those trades, and I honestly don't think that we're getting back here. And I'll pull them up before we're out of halftime, and I'll just kind of read to you what is going on with those. But it is kind of interesting to look at those kind of trades, but it's controversial, and I think that a lot of Jazz fans would really not like to lose those guys, including myself, because they've just been such staples to this organization for so many years. You look at Joe Ingles, has been here almost all of his career, played some time with the Clippers, but a lot of people don't even know that. I mean, guy's been with the Jazz for a very long time, and it's just interesting to see what's going on with that. But, you know, I think it's kind of frustrating that they want to trade him so bad, because they definitely do. I think that it's kind of obvious that they are in trade talks, and I know that the best offer for Jeremy Grant so far has been a Joe Ingles pick, or a Joe Ingles and a pick, a first-round pick in the future. But I just don't know. It's so tough, and for the Jazz right now, their season is win now. They have to get the job done. They have to. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And it does kind of scare me to think of a Jazz without Joe Ingles, because he's just been there forever, and I would be conflicted. I think he's gone already. I think he's like out of the picture now for the playoffs this year, but you just never know, because this front office, especially Danny Ainge, who I believe has never really lost a trade. You look at his resume, and you see the trade with IT, and you would say, like, man, that's messed up. Yeah, it's messed up, but he got so much more out of that than what IT was offering for the Celtics, other than just being kind of that mental block on your thing. You know, not a mental block, but the guy that you could rely on. He's been there forever. It's IT. But at the same time, he won that trade. And I don't think he's lost a trade ever. And I've already said that, but it's something that I really look at. Like, has this executive ever lost a trade? Has he flat out traded a guy has he ever traded a guy or traded for a guy that didn't turn out to be what he wanted him to be? And no, he has not. He has gotten what he needed to get. He got Kyrie Irving in that IT trade, which is not easy. And obviously it wasn't an easy decision at all. I'm sure it wasn't for him. But he got more out of that trade than whoever got IT, and that's obvious because he's not even in the league anymore. I mean, I think he's with the Wizards right now, but he's not playing a significant role, you know? So I think that that's pretty interesting to look at, and just what has kind of happened with him. But not only that, but Danny Ainge. I mean, guy built what I would call a super team with the Rockets, and they just weren't able to put up. But which is kind of unfortunate, because that was a very, very fun team to watch. A lot of fun team to watch that he was able to build. So, KG trade with the Nets. Again, Danny Ainge, very good executive. He doesn't care about the morality of his trades. If he can win a trade, he's going to do the trade. And I think that Jazz fans really need to understand that, because Joe Ingles is a good player, but he is aging fast. And the Jazz need a replacement, and you have to be quite frank. Was Ainge on the Hayward trade? Yes. That was his Boston organization, yeah. So he made that trade, which I believe that wasn't even a sign and trade. So he was able to work the Jazz out of a sign and trade, but then he got a sign and trade when he went to the Hornets. So you can kind of see like he works deals to the maximum. He tries to get everything out of it, whatever he can get. You bet he's going to get everything out of it. So it's just interesting to kind of see what he does, and I think that he's going to be a very good executive for this team, but it'll just take time to see what he can do. But this is the first step, and I think proving that he can be a very valuable asset as an executive to this team. All right. You're right, Andy. And, KG and Pierce, obviously really good players. So he got what he needed for him. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to go out. He's going to make deals. He's not going to be complacent, because if we've learned anything the past 3 years, you're right. It's not like Boston was winning when he left, but you look at the team they built, 2 young superstars in Jalen Green and Jason Tatum. Two very young superstars in those 2 guys. So I don't know. It's just going to be so interesting to see what happens and who he's going to trade and all that kind of stuff. But that's just coming up here in the next few weeks as we head closer to that trade deadline, which is coming up on, if I can look it up real quick. But I can guarantee you that Ingles will probably be out of the fold. The trade deadline is Thursday, February 10th, so just around the corner. And I can personally guarantee you that Joe Ingles will likely not be on our team when we get to that point. And it's not even his fault. It's simply that the Jazz just need an extra boost, and he's gonna get that for us. I don't know what it's gonna come in, but it'll happen eventually. And I'm gonna look and see if I can find the trade real quick. Here it is. Okay. So here's some realistic trade options for the Utah Jazz. We'll just kind of take a look at these while we are in our break. So the first one, the Jazz would receive Jeremy Grant and Rodney McGruder, and the Pistons would get Bojan Bogdanovic, Eric Paschall, and Jared Butler, and a 2026 first-round pick. I don't like this one because we get rid of Bogdanovic, but honestly, that might be what they have to do to get a guy like Jeremy Grant. Let's look at the next one. The Jazz receive Harrison Barnes, and the Kings receive Bojan Bogdanovic and a 2026 first-rounder. The reason why I don't like this one is because Harrison Barnes is 30, and I don't think the Jazz really need that kind of age on this team. The next one, the Jazz would receive Robert Covington and Larry Nance Jr., and the Blazers would receive Joe Ingles, Rudy Gay, Eric Paschall, and Jared Butler. This one's okay, but I don't like trading bench guys for bench guys, The next one, the Jazz would receive Josh Richardson, Dennis Schroeder, and Juancho Hernangomez, and the Celtics would receive Jordan Clarkson, Joe Ingles, and Jared Butler. I don't like this one because we are not ever going to get rid of Jordan Clarkson as long as we can keep him here. I hope Danny Ainge isn't stupid enough to trade him because he is such a staple to this organization. And now here's one more. Jazz would receive Nicholas Batum and Serge Ibaka, and somehow the Clippers would receive Jordan Clarkson, Eric Paschall, Jared Butler, and a 2026 first-round pick, which I don't like at all. Here's another one. The Jazz could receive Eric Gordon and Jae'Sean Tate for Joe Ingles, Eric Paschall, Jared Butler, and a first-round pick. I do like this one because I like Jae'Sean Tate a lot. I think he's a good young player. Very, very young, but a good young player. Another one is the Jazz would receive Thaddeus Young, Bryn Forbes, and Jack Landale. And I already like this one because I like Thaddeus Young a lot. But the Spurs would receive Joe Ingles, Eric Paschall, and Jared Butler. And again, I don't like trading away the young talent, but the Jazz haven't even started to use Jared Butler at all. And that would be also a a 2026 first-round pick. Now take a look at this last one, D'Anthony Melton and Brandon Clark for Joe Ingles and Elijah Hughes. Brandon Clark, a very good player out of Gonzaga. I think I would like that a lot, actually. That sounds like a good option right there. But I don't know. It's just tough to say right now. Hard to say. All right. All right, once again, you guys, we are at halftime. I'm just kind of looking at these trades right now, diving in a little bit deeper. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, though. But wow, I mean, it's been a fun game so far. And I think we're going to see kind of what this Jazz team is made of. Again, going against a very hungry young team who could do some damage. And, you know, even if they are trying to tank, which I don't think they are, they could beat a team like this and just get a ton of momentum. Like, I guarantee it. They might just go all out and try to beat this team and just hush all the haters. But, you know, we'll see. We will see. All right. Once again, I appreciate you guys being in here. We got a good matchup right now between the Utah Jazz and the Houston Rockets, and we head into the third quarter, getting back to action here, as here is Jordan Clarkson, now over to Royce O'Neal. O'Neal gives it down to Rudy Gobert. Gobert slams it home, and that's a good start for the Jazz. 66-57 is the score. 11-11 left in this third quarter, as here is Kevin Porter Jr. Porter Jr. hands it off for Jae'Sean Tate. Now he's going to give it over to Jalen Green. He pulls a three. That one won't fall, and the Jazz are able to pull down the rebound. It's Conley. Conley looking to go inside. He swings it over to Joe Ingles. Back to Mike. Mike looking to go inside. Goes with the left. Swings it out. It's Royce. Now over to Bogdanovich. He fakes a three. Gives it down to Rudy Gobert. And there's going to be an offensive foul. That one's going to go on Rudy Gobert. 57-66 is the score. 10:43 left to play in this third quarter. That's tough. Tough offensive foul. All right. And now here is Gobert, goes inside, and that one's going to be poked away. Here's Christian Wood now, and he's going to get fouled. The Jazz do not let fast breaks happen, and I think it's so smart. Dean Chambers, what's going on, man? Appreciate you being in here. Yeah, I wish we could have done the Lakers game, and, you know, so Addison wanted to do it, and he just couldn't because his voice was out of it, and he had just gotten out of rehearsal. I was thinking about doing a first half stream, but I just didn't end up doing that. Clark, my man, what is going on? I hope you're well wherever your work has taken you, but I appreciate you stopping in as always. Really does mean a lot, and we do hope you're doing well, but we got a good one tonight, as here is Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich swings it down to Joe Ingles. Ingles now a bullet pass out to O'Neal, and he can't knock down a three. For some reason, Royce's name just doesn't always flow for me. And now here is Christian Wood. He's going to swing it out to KPJ as Kevin Porter Jr. knocks down a three. That's the first points for the Rockets here in this second half. Here's Conley. Conley going to give it over to Gobert. Now a handoff to Ingles. Ingles swings it over to Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich looking to go inside. Puts it up with the left. Tough shot. That one won't fall. He switched hands in midair to shoot. And now Jae'Sean Tate going the other way. A guy who we just mentioned in trade talks. And the other half of that was Eric Gordon. And he has the ball now. Now he gives it over to Jae'Sean Tate. and he's going to take a three. That one won't fall, and now the Jazz are going to be able to take it the other way. Here is Conley. He's on the left side. Conley working with it. He goes inside, swings it over to Joe Ingles. Quick trigger three. That one's off. Will he get the shooter's bounce? No, he won't. Jalen Green is able to pull down the rebound. He goes inside. That one going to go off of somebody's knee. Looks like it's going to be a foul on Joe Ingles. 53 in the chat. Appreciate you being in here. Trap House Bowman. What's going on for you, man? Easy one for the Jazz tonight. Salute to you, Trap. Appreciate you being in here, man. Your channel is popping off right now. But you can't help but notice that the Nebraska Cornhuskers, baby, we are getting the chip next year. Have you been seeing these acquisitions by the Nebraska Cornhusker football team? Tell me, Trap. Tell me in the comments. As here is Ingles. He puts up a tough shot down low and got it to go. The lay for him down low, again, with that left hand, just so versatile. As here is Daniel House. He gives it down to Christian Wood. Now outside, Jayshawn Tate takes a three. That one won't fall, and it's pulled down by Royce O'Neal. O'Neal gets a screen from Gobert. He won't use it. Hands it off for Joe Ingles. Now over to Conley. He goes inside, puts it up high with the right, and that one will fall. 70-60 is the score. And now a timeout on the floor. Hey, man, that's always good, Trap. Good to hear that. So, yeah, it's been a minute. Got a question. Why can't Rudy be a 20-point player every game? If he could, he would open more shots for everyone else. Yeah, I agree with that, Clark. You are absolutely right about that. And I think that someday he will get to that. He is evolving before our eyes, I would say. I mean, he's gone from being, like a 12-point player a game to being 16 and 16 a night, which is kind of insane. So, we'll see, man. If he could add a three, whoo, how do you even stop that? I like the quarterback pickups with Purdy and Thompson. Yes, they're going to be pretty good. And I also heard something that I think you would probably think is interesting, Trap, that Thompson, first day he gets on campus, which was just a couple days ago, first thing he does, he gets the numbers of all of his big nasties, gets his offensive line all in a group chat. He tells them he's gonna be practicing drops and sets right away, and they're gonna do it after every practice, is what he's saying. And then he treated that whole offensive line to a steak dinner. So you got to get the big boys on your side if you want to win a chip. So we'll see, man. I hope that we can get to the top of the Big Ten West, because I hate Iowa. You should hate Iowa too. Everybody should hate Iowa. So I don't know. But we'll see. But that's good that everybody's doing well in here. But I agree with you, though, Clark. It really could be very beneficial for the Jazz if Gobert could just open up his game a little bit, get to that 20-point-a-game mark. That would just force so much more defense onto him. So we'll just kind of see what happens with that. But eventually I do think he could get to that kind of level. Appreciate you guys being in here, though. It does mean a lot. If we take a look at our likes, we have 39 but 52 in here, so keep hitting that up. I just need one more person to do it. They say no star player wants to come to Utah. I would agree with that a lot, actually. There's just not a big market for free agents, especially, but even in the trade market, it's straight up just not easy to get guys to come here. It's just because of the reputation. But this city is rapidly changing. And actually, the percent, I mean, if it's the high percentage of Mormons who are there, it's about half and half now in Salt Lake, which still makes it a sanctuary city, but it's definitely not as high. But again, the Jazz are a very good team, and Salt Lake City is one of the most fun places ever. It's a great place to live, great stuff to do, and I think that players could definitely make a home for themselves there. As KPJ puts up a tough shot, and that one won't fall. And if you wanna hear of a celebrity who lives in Utah, actually pretty close to where I stay when I'm in Utah, the Big Cottonwood Canyon is home to Post Malone, which is interesting. As here is a bullet pass to Rudy Gobert, gets hacked on the back, and that one is a hard foul, and that was on KPJ, it looks like, Kevin Porter Jr. So Gobert will go to the line. Honestly think that Gobert should be a focus of our playmaking. I know how important his screens are and threes, but we need to hunt out Gobert's inside scoring too. You're absolutely right about that, Dean. And that's something that the Jazz, before Donovan Mitchell, I would say, before Donovan Mitchell like really took over, I'd say that that's something that we did do a lot. But you know, at the point when we got Donovan Mitchell, I wouldn't say we were rebuilding, but it really did look like for a second when we lost Hayward that we were going to be rebuilding. But obviously Donovan got the job done as Gobert goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Once again, unconscious this season from there compared to what he used to do. So if you want to see a guy who's getting better at shooting, watch Rudy Gobert as he actually made a full court shot in that other game, but they did not count it because it was slightly after the clock went out. Shot it right as time expired, as here is Jalen Green. Green working with it outside. It's Filipino night here in Utah as Green is going to pull up. Tough shot. That one won't fall, and Gobert is able to pull down the rebound. He hands it off to Mike Conley. Conley looking to go inside. Conley, step back three, got it. And that's just, I mean, the threes are starting to fall for the Jazz, and that's something that's very important. As here is KPJ. KPJ looking for somebody, and that one's going to be poked out by the Jazz. So it's going to stay with Houston here. 67 in the chat. Appreciate you being in here. SLC growing. I think in the future it will be an international stop for food and other things. It's not there yet, but it's going to be very good. Yeah, the air quality. I can't remember what the term for it is. You guys would know because a lot of you are from there. But it's where the mining over there and all the industry over by the airport just gets in the thing. I can't remember what the word is. I wish I could. I knew it, but I can't remember it now. But it does get really bad, and some days when I've been there, it's just been like black sky. But other than that, it's a very nice city. A lot of fires, too. But it's a desert, so that's what's to be expected as Christian Wood pulls up for three and knocks it down. Christian Wood out of Nevada. Is he? No, he's Is he Nevada or UNLV? I think he's UNLV. Yeah. As Bogey is going to pull up, and he can't get that one to fall. And now Eric Gordon has it on the other end. He gives it down to Christian Wood. Christian Wood working with it. He steps out. He's going to take another three. That one is off of the right side of the backboard and out. So the Jazz are going to be able to retain possession here. Here is Clarkson. Clarkson looking to go inside. Clarkson swings it over to Bogey. He's going to square up a three. That one just a little bit long, and it's going to go off of the rim and be corralled by Jalen Green. Jalen Green on the other end. He's on the right side, guarded tightly by Royce O'Neal. Now over to Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. looking to go inside. KPJ splits the defense, has nowhere to go. He's going to have to swing it out. Sengun, tough three. That one won't go. That was actually Matthews. Two white guys on the team. As here is a corner look for Forrest. Now they're going to give it down to Gobert, and he's going to be fouled. So 5:20 left to play in the third. And a hard foul down low, but Gobert looks like he's just fine. 62 in the chat. Appreciate you being in here. Inversion. You're right about that, Dean. That's what it is. I knew it was an I. Rudy Gay, Mike Conley aren't bad pickups. Clarkson stayed. MJ owns a home there. Yeah. Robert Redford obviously likes it. Yeah, you're right. SLC is not an unattractive place for the right type of player. A guy who wants to settle down, and that I think that's, I mean, I don't think that that's really what JC does, but I think that he's definitely okay with being in Utah now. As they figure it out, he's a guy with connections. JC he's a good kid, or not a good kid, but a very good guy. He could get guys to come down here, and for Bogey, I think that's why he signed here. Just wanted to settle down a little bit, as there's not a lot of like club action down in Utah. Although, which is kind of funny. Utah has the highest rated, like on Yelp. Their clubs are the highest rated in the country, which is kind of unbelievable. So I find that funny because it just goes against that stereotype. But Matthews able to knock down the three for Houston. So that puts it at 68-75 as we head to a commercial timeout. 72 in the chat. Appreciate you being in here. Dome effect from the Rockets and pollution. Yep, that's right, Viper. Inversion. And also greenhouse because SLC is surrounded by mountains so gas can't escape. That's right. And there's that one gap over in the valley. If like towards Provo, there's a gap, and then there's a gap towards the airport, obviously, and all of that kind of stuff over there towards Logan. That's over there. I know some about Utah because I go there a lot, but also one of my parents is from there, and it does look cold, but it's the best powder on earth. I can back that up, man. I love the powder in Utah. Some of the best stuff that you will ever find. It's good. It is amazing powder, but it's one of the best places I've ever been. Going to a Jazz game is one of the things that I will never forget the first time I did. It was amazing. Played the Knicks. Jazz kicked the crap out of them. Inversely, for decades, no one has wanted to go to the Clippers, even though they were in LA. Of course, that was with a change in ownership and the great addition of Jerry West, but we have a great organization. The best to never win an NBA title, I think, and better than a lot who have. Honestly, you are absolutely right about that. I think in any other year, you go 5 years in the future, the Bulls are like a no-name team after MJ, and I think the Jazz could beat basically anybody. If you take away the Bulls, you have the Pistons, and I think the Pistons would have put up a really good fight a couple of those years, but who knows? And it's just one of those things that we will never get to see what would have happened. But you have to remember the Jazz outscored those Bulls teams when they played them, which is just insane. So, yeah, kind of crazy. Huh. Just looking at this stat right here. Very interesting. Hey, and once again, you guys, I do appreciate every single one of you guys being in here. 7 likes is what we need to get to 50. So if you do like what you're seeing tonight, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I would really appreciate it. What am I talking about? The focus of comment. Oh, sorry, Dominador Maheka. Sorry about that. I am just talking to my chat. I apologize, but when the game is on, I promise I will be commentating as much as possible, or as much as the game happens, as we are at 4:33 left in the third. 68-75 is the score. We were in a commercial break, by the way, you guys. And now at the line, Christian Wood. The first shot is up and short. Christian Wood, a very, very good player out of UNLV once again. So he's a good one, fun to watch, and we'll see how he develops, especially since this team is rebuilding. I think that he could be a very good center. In a couple of years, I believe this team will be a playoff team. So we'll see what happens, and that's just kind of what you get when you rebound, or when you rebound from just having nobody. It's interesting to see how these teams do it. The Rockets obviously taking an interesting approach, so we'll see how it happens. But here is Kevin Porter Jr. to inbound for the Rockets, and he gets it to Christian Wood, but a foul on the inbounds play. Oh. Maybe it was Forrest. I think he went beyond vertical, so he went like this on the inbound. You can't go forward. You have to stay completely vertical, as here is Kenyon Martin Jr. He goes inside. Hard drive goes into Udoka Azubuike, and that one won't go. By the way, Udoka, the block leader all time for Kansas, and he is a good player, but just has struggled to find his role in this organization. As here is O'Neal. He hands it off for Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich now over to Trent Forrest. Forrest looking to go inside. He is fading, has nowhere to go. He has to dump it off for Udoka, and that's going to be a 3-second call on Udoka right there. He was in the paint for probably longer than 3 seconds. Refs don't really like to call that, but they will if they do see a guy who's been there for too long. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate all you guys being in here. Does really mean a lot to us. We're small creators here, and we will be live for every single game here in the next few as House, or no, not House. That is, man, what am I even saying? Kenyon Martin Jr. outside taking the three, and he can't knock it down. I still think House is on the Rockets. And they were, you remember, if you think back just a little bit, the Rockets were a scary small ball team, and that was just not fun. Deron Williams, dude, I have a signed Deron Williams jersey, one of my favorite possessions. I love that jersey to death. I also have a Derek Favors one, and those are my two, because my grandparents used to have season tickets, but now they don't, because it costs a fortune. Stockton is more of a passer than a scorer, but the other team targeted Malone. You are absolutely right about that, Andy. And if you look at kind of what he did when he was at Gonzaga, same thing. And there was a college player who played at the same time as him who was even better on that same team. So it's interesting to kind of look at his role on different teams, but definitely more of a passer as Forrest going to swing it out to Bogey. Oh, my gosh. And another 3-second call on the Jazz. That one's going to go on Conley. That's frustrating. Jazz keep getting those unforced errors, and that's really going to pay dividends for the Rockets. They're kind of forcing those guys in there. MJ stole the ball from Malone because he knew he was going to pass it to him. You're right about that. Stole the ball with 1 minute left from Malone's back. Yep, I remember it. I don't remember it from when I witnessed it because I wasn't alive, but I remember from watching it several times as a technical foul has been called on JC. Got mad, bounced the ball at the basket, and 71-75 is the score now. A 9-0 run for the Rockets in the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So the Jazz just got to get a little bit more solid as we have 3:09 left to play in the third. This game has gone fast, and I'm glad it has, as it would be kind of hard to watch just how fast it is if it was a slow game. As Kenyon Martin kicks it out, and a tough shot for the Rockets. That one's going to be nailed by Brooks. Brooks puts it in. That's his first points of the game. And 74-75. And that's a 12-0 run now. And 0 points for the Utah Jazz in the last 4 minutes as here is Conley. Conley looking to get this Jazz team to get some momentum. Gives it down to Bogey. Bogey working on Brooks. Bogey has nowhere to go. He's going to spin. Tough shot. Baseline J. That one won't fall. And it's going to be pulled down by Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. going down the other end. He kicks it over to Matthews, who takes a horrible three. That was a bad shot. As now he was way out, like past the hash on the right side. As now Brooks is going to square it up. Knocks down another one. 77-75. Rockets go up by 2. The Jazz collapsing here in the third quarter. Or I should say, this Heat team is just putting on a show right now. 15-0 run in the last 4:28. Here is Conley. Conley looking to go inside, puts it up with the right hand, and he missed the gimme. Oh, my goodness. Got to make the easy ones. And now there's a cap on the rim for the Utah Jazz, but Brooks is going to have it on the other end for the Rockets. He hands it off, and a wide-open three for Christian Wood won't go. He can be really good or really bad from the three-point line, and in this game, he has just not been very good from outside. Christian Wood, 2 for 5, so really not that bad, but from the looks of it, it just hasn't been too hot, and JC is just kind of frustrated. Visibly, you can see it with what's going on right now. It is Filipino night. The 2 players in the league who are from the Philippines right now. Oh, you can come in? Yeah, I mean, if you want to, but since you haven't seen it, let me just finish this one out, because it's. I mean, you could come in probably. What do you guys think? Should Addison come in? You can come in if you want. Don't waste your voice though. Just I don't know. If you really want to come in, you can come in. I'll send you a link. But if you don't want to, don't worry about it. Get some sleep. That's what I should be doing. I got an AP test tomorrow, but I want to get us back to our normal streaming schedule as 97 are in the chat, 76-77. 1:20 left to play in the third, as here is Matthews. He's going to give it over to Christian Wood. Now over to Eric Gordon, I should say. Now over to Kevin Porter Jr. And a shot from Brooks is good again from the arc. 80-76, and Brooks is just lighting it up. That's his third 3 in a row, and an 18-1 run. 18-1 run, I should say, for the Rockets in the last 5 minutes and 29 seconds, as here is Joe Ingles. Ingles gets a screen from Gobert. He's going to swing it over to Daniel House Jr., getting some more minutes. And he's going to swing it down to Clarkson. Fadeaway jumper. That one will go. Clarkson, a tough shot. Fades away. Got it to fall with the spin, by the way. Very impressive from JC, as here is Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon working with it. Eric Gordon looking to go inside. And he gives it over to Brooks. Brooks kicks it back out to Gordon. Gordon looking to go inside. Puts it up. Tough shot. That one won't fall. The Jazz able to pull it down. Got to convert on this play. Here's Conley. There's a off-ball foul that looks like. No. Clock's running. That was really weird. And now here is Conley up top. Going to close out the quarter. He's going to size up on Christian Wood. Pulls the 3. Bang! 2.4 left to play in the third as Conley drains it from outside. And now here's a shot from the Rockets. It goes to Christian Wood. Half quarter. Oh my God! He made it. Jeez. That was high arcing too. That was Steph Curry. My goodness. He just launched that thing from way outside. Impressive stuff. All right, I sent you a link, by the way. That was very impressive, though. Very impressive. Huge. Yes, we could definitely hit 100 viewers tonight. We've done it before. We've had like 500 in the chat. But it's up to you guys to help us build that community. Especially when you guys come in every stream. It does really mean a lot. So make sure you guys, if you haven't already, to hit up that like button for me. It really would mean a lot to us as small commentators. Every game is starting to count now. It's the best part of the season. You are right about that, Kevin. This is ridiculous. I understand that any team on any night can win, but there's just very little fight that I have seen in them for a few games now. We can't be like that if we want to win a title. You're right about that, man. You are right about that. Hey, whatever, Cash. Hey, if you're a Rockets fan, that's all right. That's all right. I respect it. You guys have gone through a lot, so I do appreciate that kind of thing. Score is, thank you so much, Cherry Zapata. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you to everybody saying that. I did not update that correctly. I apologize. 79 in the chat. Wonder where Cole is. I guess he's just not here tonight. He'll be here sometime. But you're right about that, Dean, and it's just hard to watch. It's just hard to watch when you know that this team can win. You know, and that's the hardest part about it, is that we know that this team can win. They're proven. They just have to do it on a night-to-night basis, and that's just something that has been very hard for them to replicate, especially right now. Oh, you're good, Viper. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we could get 100 viewers in here easily. The best way to do that, though, is for everybody to hit that like button. It really does mean a lot. It helps us creators that are small know that you guys like what we're doing. So, hey, make sure if you really do like what you're seeing tonight to make sure to hit that like button. It does mean a lot. And it helps get more people in here, helps recommend the stream to people, gets us out there. So it really does help us as we are back to action here in the fourth quarter. Matthews going to swing it over to Sengun and now to Brooks, but there's going to be an offensive foul right there. Why is this weird? Okay, now it's back to normal. Brooks was wide open for a 3, and I'm really surprised he didn't shoot it because he has just made 3 after 3. Okay, when did they call? Oh, right there. That's where they called it. So Sengun is going to get called for the illegal screen. Kind of bumped his hip out, got some contact. And now here comes a play down low for Rudy Gobert. Can't get the finish. And that ball was kind of being tipped up from the beginning as Brooks is going to have it on the other end for Houston. Brooks working with it. They give it down to Sengun, now outside for Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon looking to go inside, puts up a tough shot. That one won't fall, and there's going to be a foul. That one's going to go on Gobert. Sengun will go to the line for 2. $92 in the chat. Appreciate you guys being in there, but we got 55 likes. Hey, drop a like if you do like what you're seeing. 5 likes is what's needed. Vegas Lights, what's going on? What's going on first, last? Yes, the Rockets. They know Ainge was brought in to make a deal, and I don't think anyone's safe. It's just anxiety. You're right about that, Music. You are right about that, P. You are, and I mean, Danny Ainge, good executive, but just has no heart, you know. I like him, but it's going to be interesting to see what he does. But like I was talking about at halftime, Danny Ainge, I believe, has never lost a trade as Sengun makes that first free throw. He has always won trades. So I think that whatever deal the Jazz do will be the right deal in the end, but it may hurt our hearts a little bit as Sengun takes that second shot. But obviously, right now, this team is not doing what they need to do. And I think that that's obvious to basically everybody. As here is Daniel House Jr. He gives it over to Clarkson. Clarkson up top by the logo. He gives it down to Conley, and now a 3-ball for Joe Ingles, one guy that's been in a ton of trade rumors and supposedly some talks so far, as here is Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon shooting 36% on the season, but 28% from 3 tonight. And now here comes a drive from Christian Wood. That one swatted away by none other than the Stifle Tower. And now Clarkson has a wide open 3. That one won't fall. A cap on the rim for the Utah Jazz. 10:36 left to play in the fourth. Here is Brooks. He hands it off. Gordon way outside. That one won't go. And Ingles is going to pull it down. Ingles gets a screen from Rudy. He's going to dish it down to Rudy. That pick and roll action. They give it over to Clarkson, and he puts the floater up and in. If one thing isn't working, you know what is working. It's that floater. JC, always pure with that floater action. You got to love it. And Jordan Clarkson with 14 points tonight. He's got to be close to leading the Jazz in scoring. Just not a lot of scoring. It's all been isolated. But Rudy Gobert at 19 tonight, it looks like, as Matthews is going to pull a 3, and that one will fall. Tough shot. Matthews, the sniper, just drains it from outside. And the Jazz falling behind to another team yet again. And now here is Clarkson. He's going to lose that one out of bounds. Again, the unforced errors, just they can't happen. And he was just dribbling there. Just lost it, you know. Informed to Coach Snyder, always give JC the ball. You are absolutely right about that, Dominador. You are right about that. And in fact, I think that every turnover he gets is probably better than most shots the Jazz will get because his ISO action is just so good. And the Jazz need to really take advantage of that right now because the offense is just not working. He's only one person. Yes. Yes, Mike, yes. What are we doing, bro? It's the Rockets. I don't know. We're missing Donovan right now, Addison, if you didn't know, but should say fourth quarter. Oh, thank you, Kenny. Gosh, man, what the heck am I doing? Get so caught up in these trade talks, I forget to change the quarter. Look at that. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate you. Hayward, forever a Jazz enemy. Yes, he will always be a Jazz enemy. Whenever I'm at a game and he is there, I will always boo him, even though I haven't been at a game with Hayward since, 2013. This is payback for last year, I'm positive. Yeah, it probably is. Hi, where do I think Ben Simmons will go? Not to the Jazz, but I don't know. I have no idea where Ben Simmons is going to go. Maybe, who was it? Probably LA. They're probably going to make some terrible trade, get rid of AD or something crazy. Can you imagine that? You have Embiid and AD on the same team. Hayward and D-Will equals karma. That is so true, Viber. I never thought about it that way. Rockets assistant coach was a classic. Jazz player Jeff Hornacek. You are right about that. Hornacek was a beast for the Jazz. Absolute sniper from outside. As we are back to action here. 90-85 is the score, and Conley is at the line. His first shot at the line will go, so 86-90. Now the score. Conley, a very steady shooter at the line. And another guy, again, in double figures. Every single guy on the court right now, every starter for the Jazz, and also a bench player, is in double figures right now with 16, 11, 19, 10, and 17 respectively, which is very impressive. But right now, somebody's got to take over and just get the job done because the Jazz cannot lose this game. As here is Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon, again, another guy who's been in some kind of theoretical trade discussions for the Jazz. And now here is Sengun. He spins, puts up a shot with the left. That one won't go. Gobert is hit in the face. They don't call it. And Jae'Sean Tate gets the board and puts it up and in. Jae'Sean Tate, again, another guy I really do like on this team. Now here is Conley. Conley trying to work from behind against this Rockets team. He goes inside, kicks it out. Bogey, wide open three, and that one's just short. You got to make the open ones. Got to make them. As here is Gordon. Loses it. That one will go. No, it's going to be a foul on the Jazz. And JC just obviously just kind of mad right now. Just can't get his shots. And you just got to give him more chances. Walking triple-double kid, 100%. You are right about that. Trade some monsters. Picks for Simmons. That is so. Mike, I'm this close to muting you. That is such a horrible take. Did you say Embiid getting traded? Breaking news. No. Favorite Jazz is John Stockton. Embiid will never be traded from that organization unless he requests it. Yeah. John Stockton is a great pick for your favorite Jazz player, though. As Forrest is going to lose it, and there's going to be a foul on the Rockets. Man, the Jazz got bailed out there. 95-87. All right, somehow a 3 got added to the score. That's fantastic. As Matthews, it looks like it was Jae'Sean Tate who knocked it down. Jae'Sean Tate with 15 on the night, 6 for 15 shooting. Not bad at all. Jae'Sean Tate, very impressive young guy for this team. Oh, my gosh. That was amazing. A great inbound play. Goes straight to Bogey. He just got on the inside of that coverage. And 89-95 is the score. And here we go. It's Christopher up top, guarded by Forrest. Forrest, a pretty good post there, or not post, but perimeter defender. And now here is Sengun. Sengun has nobody to give it to, and he's kind of immobile. And he's going to have to give it to Jae'Sean Tate. Now outside, it's Eric Gordon. He shoots a way outside 3. That was deep. And nails it. Why can't anybody for the Jazz do that right now? Holy crap. As here is Forrest. He's looking to go inside. Forrest, he's going to swing it over to Clarkson. Clarkson has nowhere to go. He's going to have to drive inside. And he puts up a tough shot. Got the bucket and the foul. Goes right into Matthews. Puts up the shot. Baseline fadeaway jumper. Just one of the toughest ones that you could get. But you know when it's JC again. That ISO action. That's what you have to look for if you're the Jazz right now. You have to look for it. 6:51 left to play as JC will head to the free throw line. Didn't John Stockton kid play for the Jazz yet? Yes, he did. But he is off the team now. I think he's playing in Memphis right now for their G League affiliate. No, he's on the hustle right now. He's on the hustle. Why are the Rockets winning? You know, they're just winning because they're scoring more points. they're just playing better basketball right now. They are playing better basketball, and that's really what it comes down to. That is what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Has Gobert only taken one shot in the second half? I thought he was going 7 for 10 going into halftime. He is 7 for 11 right now. Yes. Okay, so you're right. You're right about that. That is interesting. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see this, but Matthews leading the Rockets in scoring somehow. 4 for 9 on field goals, but 4 for 4 from the line. So impressive stuff as we are in a commercial timeout still. 19 for Gobert on 7 for 11 shooting, but Matthews really carrying the load right now for this Rockets team. And also you got to look at guys like Gordon, who's got 13, 5 for 9 shooting, 2 for 3 from outside, and Jae'Sean Tate, who has just been bully balling this whole time. But for the Jazz, another bright side is Royce O'Neal with 12 rebounds, which is pretty good. Rockets are your new team, Mike. You're just leaving. All right. It's Addison. It's Addison. It's just his sister's computer or something. Also, Christopher has played a nice game too. 122 in the chat. Appreciate you guys being in here. It really does mean a lot. And if you haven't already, hit up that like for me. We just need 2 more to get to 60 likes. It really does mean a lot when you guys hit that up. So, hey, make sure if you haven't done that already, to do that. It does really help us out a ton. It does help us out a ton. Yeah, Stockton was on a 10-day. What's going on with you? Where's your good mic?
Listen, I tried to plug in the good mic to this, but because it's my sister's computer, it doesn't have like an extra thing.
Oh wait, never mind. It sounds fine because it's your sister's computer. It sounds good.
It should sound good. Got done with dress rehearsal, and I look at the score, and I see we're losing to the Rockets. What's been the issue so far?
Oh wait, hold
I know
on.
we don't have Don.
Hold on.
I know we don't have
say what
Donovan,
you were
but
saying, but just say it again, because I didn't have you on.
well,
Yeah.
what's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's been doing well. Sorry that I could just join late. I got back from a rehearsal for a show I'm in that opens tomorrow. I was just wondering what's going on and why we're losing to the Rockets by 9. I know we don't have Mitchell playing, but what's been the issue? Well,
It's-
you can tell me on a commercial timeout. We're back. So
Yeah, it's just been a combination of things as Christopher hands it off to Gordon, now over to Jayshawn Tate, back to Christopher. Christopher on this right side. Christopher working with it. Gives it over to Sengun. Now he's going to swing it over to Gordon. Tough three. That one will fall. Gordon is just unconscious from outside. Knocking down tough shots. That was
yeah,
not
I saw that deep one he just did a little bit ago, but that's how he's always been.
He has always been a three-point sniper. You are right about that. As Gobert has it down low and he slams it home. A nice pass from Mike Conley. 104 to 101. Now, my suggestion, I don't know about you, Jazz got to play some defense here.
I think that's a great idea, Blake. No, listen, the defense for the Jazz in this stretch of games has been terrible.
Subpar.
And there's no other way to
Subpar.
put it around.
Subpar is what
And-
I would say. As the
And
Jazz,
it's got to get better, especially against a team like the Rockets.
exactly. You gotta use this as a tune-up game. Figure out what you're doing wrong. As a foul is going to be called on the Rockets right there. The Jazz should now be in the bonus. Let's see. I believe
Can you
they're in the
pause it
bonus.
for like 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Can you pause it for like 2 seconds? Okay.
One.
And
two.
and as we just mentioned, playing the good defense, there was Rudy Gobert who made a great contest on that, and I know that there's only so many streams and games that we watched together so far this year, but my goodness, Rudy Gobert's impact on the game. I know we didn't beat the Lakers, but you could see the huge amount of impact that Rudy Gobert had in that game against the Lakers. It was unbelievable.
It's big time, and you really see when he came back, it really did make a huge difference. Donovan, obviously, with the concussion, so that's why he's not in this one, as Jayshawn Tate goes down low and bashes Rudy Gobert. That's got to be an offensive foul, right?
No,
they're going to call it on Rudy Gobert. So Gobert gets called for another foul. So the Rockets, again, they are competing really well right now. Jeremy Grant, yes,
Yeah.
we are interested in Jeremy Grant. That's true. If you haven't been seeing if you haven't been seeing the trade rumors, there's a lot of stuff surrounding Bojan Bogdanovic and a lot with Joe Ingles, but nothing with Jeremy Grant for that. So we'll see.
The Jazz already. They said a report said they made an offer.
Yeah, they did, but it was just Joe Ingles and a first-round pick, which they would never accept, as Kevin Porter Jr. goes inside and slams it home. And now here is Conley going inside, kicks it out to Bogdanovic, now over to O'Neal. Down low, it's Gobert. He's got Wood, and he's just going like Jokic on him down there. And now he's going to kick it out. Bogdanovic, 3-ball, got it! And that is a good three.
There we go.
103
More
to
than-
99.
Everybody on the floor touched the ball. That's something
Exactly.
we've been lacking. There's been a lot of ISO ball.
Exactly.
Especially with Clarkson on the floor. I
As
understand that's his
Matthews-
game, but
This is a small forward
What
for
the
the
heck?
Jazz.
As Matthews knocks down another three. And he has just been insane. 19 points for Matthews and 24 for Bogdanovic, by the way. So he's right there with him. As Conley looking to go inside, lobs it up for Rudy Gobert as he slams it home. 101 to 106. Gobert, nice finish down there and a timeout on the floor. The Jazz hanging with the Rockets, but you got to get out in front. You have to get out in front.
got to play defense.
Yeah, you
It
gotta play
starts-
defense.
It starts on the defense side of the ball. The
Yep.
Rockets are killing us with the 3-ball right now, especially Eric Gordon. I feel like Eric Gordon always does this against the Utah
Yes,
Jazz.
he does. He
I
always
don't
goes
know if
off.
you remember that one game in 2019?
I do.
Against the Jazz, he dropped
Yes.
like 50 on us. I just feel like and it's not in Houston where he plays well. It's every time he comes to Salt Lake.
Exactly.
Eric Gordon's on another level. You know what they're hitting on right now, and they're hitting on that outside game. You've got to come up. You've got to play the good perimeter defense. But what is the Jazz' biggest weakness, Blake? It is that perimeter defense.
And that's exactly why we're looking for Jeremy Grant, a good perimeter defender, and also a good scorer too. And that's something that the Jazz
he's a really
need.
good scorer.
Yeah, very good.
And I was literally just about to say that that's the reason why the trade talks are so high right now with the Utah Jazz, and there's so many different scenarios and so many different guys you're looking at, because right now this team's biggest weakness is that perimeter defense.
And you can see it. You can see it.
But right now we have the interior defense, but we don't have the outside defense, and we saw that's what killed us in games in the playoffs. We didn't address it in the offseason. I mean, I guess we somewhat did with Rudy Gay, but we've got to get
not enough.
I mean, Jeremy Grant, a dream. But it's not enough where we're at right now, and we're seeing it recently. I don't know how many of you guys watched the Lakers game. It was a late game that night, but they killed us from outside the arc, especially late in the game. Defense was a big issue on the perimeter, not inside. Gobert was controlling his lane, but that's why the Jazz are in so many trade talks for that reason.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that. We'll just see where those go, because you never know. You just never know right now. So. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting few weeks here as we head towards that trade deadline on February 10th. It's going to be fun to watch, but also not fun if we lose a guy who has been so important to this team for a long time in Joe Ingles, or you lose a guy who's newer but has also been very important to the team in Bojan Bogdanovic. And Mike Monday, my man with the $10 dono defense. Ben Simmons' middle name is defense. You're right about that. And honestly, now that I think about that, now that I think about that, I actually might kind of like him on this team. But he's got to be surrounded by another point guard who can score.
Too much.
Hey, you're right about that.
We have to give up too much, but we need another scorer as well. I understand where you're coming from, Mike, and thank you for the $10 donation. Glad you could be in here tonight. I don't know how well that would fit chemistry. Gobert and Ben Simmons kind of beef a little bit.
That would be bad.
I like the idea. I just don't know how well it would mesh.
Yeah, and I just don't know if that clogs the lane or whatever, but we are back to action as Christopher has a three outside, wide open, by the way, and he can't knock it down, and the Jazz get a freebie as Conley takes a three. That one's way off, and it's going to be rebounded by O'Neal once again. He's got 13 of those as Conley is looking to go inside. Hits the deck. Has nowhere to go. Jayshawn Tate, that's got to be a foul, right? Oh, my God. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul?
What?
How?
Hold on.
But do you see what I mean? I'd like to see how that's an offensive foul.
Right.
How is that an offensive foul? He's literally grabbing the ball.
I don't understand that.
Two, look back on that last possession. Christopher was again wide open for three. Wide open. I've only watched this game.
Oh, wait.
One half.
He tried to call a timeout. Did he get a timeout off? I think he got a timeout off.
So how is that an offensive foul?
I don't think they called it. Well, let's see.
They
got a timeout. They got a timeout. That's what it was.
Okay, got it.
So the ref that was a really aggressive timeout. Like he pointed at the Jazz bench for a timeout, but it was like one of those. So.
But I needed one. And Muscovy, I'm gonna disagree with that. Definitely not need Favors back. Definitely Whiteside's the right option. Whiteside's been struggling here a little bit before he went out for COVID. But Whiteside has played good. Blake, am I
good
wrong?
Player. No, good player.
Like
absolutely.
Whiteside's been one of the
He's averaging like 6 and 9, which you couldn't ask for much more from a backup center. It might be even 9 and 9.
I love Derek Favors.
Yeah, Derek Favors is a great guy.
Blake and I both love Derek Favors.
I have a signed jersey. I have a signed jersey
Blake
from Derek Favors. I love Derek Favors. But he does not have a place on this team. Not anymore. Not anymore.
And while I love Derek Favors, he is not an upgrade from Hassan Whiteside. Not that Hassan Whiteside is a huge upgrade from Derek Favors, but when you're talking about someone you want in a run during the playoffs, you pick Hassan Whiteside 10 times out of 10.
Right. And now here is Conley looking to go inside. He swings it out to O'Neal. Deep three for Royce. That's a bad shot, by the way. And that one won't fall. Again, you've got to be looking for quality shots here at the end of a game, as Eric Gordon is on fire, and he's going to be outside. And he's working on Rudy Gobert. Big mismatch, by the way, as Eric Gordon is looking to go inside, and he kicks it out to Matthews, who also is on fire with 19 tonight. And now a trap in the corner. They get Kevin Porter Jr., and he took a shot clock violation on the Rockets. I thought that was going to be a foul for a sec.
Listen, Ingles is not a type of guy you're going to see on defense who has played well this year. He hasn't, but that was he made 2 great stops. He makes the original stop on Matthews, has a great trap right there.
And then Kevin you see the hands down right when he shot, so that there's no chance of a foul. No chance. He knew. He knew the shot clock was winding down. As here is Bogdanovich open for 3. That one won't go, and Gobert is able to corral the rebound, and he is fouled. Great play by Gobert. Was nowhere near being able to make a shot, but went up with it anyway. Got the contact, so he'll head to the line for 2. Favors' problem was getting paid $9 million for a vet min production. And look at this. We're getting beyond vet minimum production from a guy on a vet minimum contract in Hassan Whiteside, which is fantastic. I think that's awesome. Please lose. I want my Mavs to be the 4th seed. I'm sorry, Russell Westbrook, Brick, but I don't want your Mavs to be the 1 seed. As Gobert, even though he has been unconscious from the line, misses that first free throw.
He's been very, very good from the line. And can you pause it just one more second?
Yeah, and you can't ask for much more from a guy like Rudy Gobert right now. I mean, he's playing fantastic. 23 points.
Able-to-Strap just said, he is the MVP of this team.
He is.
And I didn't realize it until I saw the stretch of games that he did not play in. And while he did just miss 2 free throws, which could be crucial down the line, well, let's be honest. If you replace Donovan Mitchell with another top-tier shooting guard in the league, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you replace Rudy Gobert with another top-tier center in this league,
not the same.
No,
not the same.
You're not the same, and we are fighting for a play-in spot.
If you threw a guy like who would be a good shooting guard to throw in there, like
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal. If you put Bradley Beal on this team, I bet this team is right where we are right now, looking to be in a pretty high seed in the playoffs, and probably not losing to horrible teams if we're healthy. Addison is just giving us a death stare right now because his camera is broken.
Is it really? Yeah, it's really laggy. I don't know what's going on. But
now you're back. You're all good.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
The
Jazz are a defensive team. You're right about that, Music by Pete, and that's part of it is that you can't replace what's not meant to be replaced. And the Jazz are built around centers and what their role is, and that role is being a defensive anchor. They open up the floor for the shooters, and that's what Quinn Snyder has built this team around, and that's kind of the role that Gobert has played for a long time here. As we are back to action, here is
listen. We got 3 minutes to go. The defense is picked up. The offense has got to get going.
It's got to get going. You're right about that. Here is Wood just airballed that. Wanted a foul, but it was pretty obvious that there was no contact right there. Yeah, that was out of bounds.
So, that was good D by Bogdanovich.
Yeah, I mean, great D, and you could see he was going like this when he shot. Like, don't even think about it. Mm-hmm. And so here is Ingles. Ingles, again, another guy who's been in trade talks for the Jazz. And now he's going to swing it over to Conley. Conley going inside. Has to give it out to Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich, I thought he traveled with that. But they give it back to Conley. Conley pulls up for 3. Deep shot. Like, what is that? What is that?
Got to grab that board.
Oh, my goodness. The offense is horrible.
A lot of forced threes from the Jazz.
Yeah. They're just get inside. Make the easy play. As here is Porter Jr. up top. KPJ going inside. That one's stolen away by Rudy Gobert. Great steal. Now here comes O'Neal. He swings it over to Bogdanovich. 3 ball. That one won't go. And back to Bogdanovich. Try it again. Board. You betcha. Try it again for Bogdanovich.
That's the type of effort and hustle you need right there. That's game-winning plays.
That is important for the Jazz right now. You have to make those, and Bogdanovich knocking it down. Now the crowd on
Right
their
on their
feet
feet, baby.
here in Utah, and now over to Christian Wood and Jayshawn Tate. My goodness.
Why are you fouling there, Bogdanovich?
Yeah.
Why are you fouling?
That was not a play that he should have fouled on.
Come on, man. You make a great play down in the other end, and you ruin it all there. That's a terrible foul. He's going to the lane. He's wide open. He's going to get the layup. Just let him have it.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to shove his ass to the ground, pardon my language, don't. Just
Yeah,
let him have the
bad foul. And you know, one of the reasons why he is regarded as a pretty decent perimeter defender is because of how he played against LeBron James in that series where he went off a couple years ago in the playoffs. But honestly, I don't see it. I think that he is a pretty subpar perimeter defender, and you can see it right there. His coverage broke down. He had a foul as Conley knocks it down from outside. Wow. So the Jazz, at this point, all they can do is play defense, and, they have to do the right things on offense and defense at this point. As here is Kevin Porter Jr. KPJ hands it off. Here's Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon working on Bogdanovich. He loses it. It goes off of his foot. No more fancy footwork for you, my good man. As here is Ingles. That one's going to be poked away. It's saved by O'Neal. He hands it over to Conley. Conley working with it up top. Conley gets a screen from Gobert. He doesn't use it. He's going to kick it over to Ingles. Ingles in the corner. Ingles driving. Gives it over to Conley. Now over to O'Neal. 3-ball. No, my God. Bro.
He has looked
Holy
awful
crap, man.
downtown tonight.
I
think he caught a foul on the
You can
Rockets.
shoot it, but
Wait.
you got to get close. You got to get
They
close.
did. They caught a foul in Houston.
Oh, my gosh. That is such a bailout. Holy moly.
But Roy,
And a timeout on the floor. Gosh, Royce, you got to be composed. At the end of the game,
listen,
got to be composed.
Hey, listen. You know that I'm a big Royce O'Neal guy. The thing, one of the most aggravating things about him is he takes his stories so deep, and he does that consistently. He'll be wide open, and then he won't step up. He'll just take a deep three. No timeout on the floor. 109-107, 55.6 Rockets, 2 free throws.
Yep. Garrison Matthews at the line, a guy who last played for Washington. The first one is up and good. 110-107. Are you at the same spot as I am, or is he still warming up?
Justin.
Okay.
One more.
And there is Danny Ainge right there. You get a look at him
I'll
right
tell you
now.
when the free throw goes in. If it
And
goes
that
in.
dude, I bet, is just about ready to pull the trigger.
And-
If we lose this game, woo! Just wipe all of them off the board. Everybody is up for grabs. 111-107. Changes need to be made if they can't win this, because it is not looking too hot right now.
Oh,
As
great
here
D,
is
Mike
Ingles.
Conley.
Ingles gives it over to Bogdanovich, a 3-ball. That one won't go. Oh, Conley got it back. They give it over to Ingles. Now over to Bogdanovich, and he is fouled. Blocking.
Now you're way behind me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's frustrating. So Bogdanovich at the line. I'll pause it for 4 seconds. 3, 4. Okay. Bogdanovich at the line. 42.4 left to go. Bogdanovich knocks down the first one, 108-111. 8 for 14 for Mike Conley. 7 for 15 for Bogdanovich. That's 47 and 57% respectively. And this is clutch 3-pointers. Mike Conley,
season.
8 for 14, 57%. Bogdanovich at 47%, and Donovan in the 30s, which is tough as he knocks down both of those free throws.
Jay, gotta get a stop.
Got to get a stop.
But that play by Mike Conley could be game-changing right there. That's 2 from Royce
could be
and now
huge.
Conley. Gotta get a big stop here.
Crowd on their feet here in Utah as Kevin Porter Jr. is up top. 30 seconds left to play. KPJ working with it. KPJ looking to go inside. He steps out. KPJ, tough 3. Oh my goodness. KPJ knocks it down. My goodness, man. I hate that. All right. Well, that means that's a Jazz loss. Jeez. Dude, this team is just so freaking two-faced. Oh.
We're not even two-faced anymore, bro. We're just not a good team.
I
We're a
know.
good team. we're a good team, but my goodness, this is getting bad, man. I mean, this is unacceptable.
I mean, it is. It's unbelievable. It can't happen. We can't keep losing like this. I mean, I just don't get it. We can't keep losing like this. We can't keep losing like this.
180 people up in the building. If you have not done so already, make sure to smash the like button and hit that subscribe button. We will be live for the next Utah Jazz game. That is against the Pistons on Friday. So make sure to join us there for that. Still 21.2 seconds to go. Blake.
What?
Quinn Snyder's terrible at calling inbounds pass, but he's got to come up with a good one here because 21.2, you got to get a quick 3 and then hope for some misses at the line. But you've got to get a good play to where you can get a good quality 3 off and not one of these ridiculous plays that worked against the Rockets 3 years ago and just hoist up a terrible 3. We've got to get a good possession out of this.
You know what my money is on, though? Just being a Jazz fan, it's going to be a horrible 3.
Oh, I bet my life savings on it.
Watch. There's going to be 2 ball screens. Bogdanovich gets the ball, pulls up from the top of the key. Look at that. Look at this. It's going to happen right now. There's a foul. How is that not a foul? And Conley just pulled up from 30 feet. Okay. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. You had time. You have 21 seconds. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You have 21 seconds. Sorry. Listen, you have 21 seconds.
And Conley,
21 seconds.
Dude, that was 27 feet out. 27 feet. He could have gone up like 5 more freaking feet. Oh, my
Why don't you
goodness,
step up? Listen, you don't have to have time. Take 10 seconds. Get a good shot.
Yeah.
Get a good shot.
Like, what is he telling him in the huddle? What is he telling him?
Let there be less time and then hope for some misses at the line. But you have to get a good shot. Getting a bad shot does nothing. Then the time doesn't matter. That's, again, terrible coaching and terrible playing on the final 30 seconds of the game.
So frustrating, man. God,
Timeout, Utah.
God,
this is getting ridiculous. I can't even watch a game against the Rockets and not get mad because we're losing by 7 to one of the worst teams in the league. I don't care that we have Donovan Mitchell. This is a game you have to win. I mean, I know it sounds like I overreact sometimes, but I'm not. Let's take a quick reality check, right? We're 4th in the Western Conference right now. Look at our upcoming schedule.
Like, somebody's got to step up. Somebody's got to step up.
The Pistons on Friday. Then we got the Warriors in a back-to-back against the Suns, and then the Grizzlies. Those teams are one in the West.
Something's got to happen. Something's got to happen. Something's got to, like, wake these guys up.
A trade has to happen, Blake. A trade.
I know, but and that's demoralizing. But I don't care because none of these guys right now on this bench, none of them have given like they all have tried, but nothing has worked. Nothing. It looks like we can't freaking drop a game plan to beat the 13-32 Rockets, who have players that are basically all under 25. Like how? How is that possible? Now 5 games behind the 1 seed, 5.5 games behind the 1 seed.
Man,
unbelievable.
And think about it. In the new year, if we had beaten the Warriors, we would have been a half game back in the 1 seed. And now we're 5.5, now 6 after.
6.5 after losing this. Unbelievable. Oh, your mic just went out on your PC or your computer. Your mic went out. I can't hear you. As 109-116, the Jazz lose again. Conley at the line, but what do you do now at this point? I mean, it's just
the first one and then miss the second one on purpose if you're even trying.
Yeah, you got to freaking toss that second one.
You're absolutely right. We got to beat the Pistons because you're at the way we're playing right
Look at
now.
that.
You're lucky 2 of the 4.
Crowd is already cleared out, which is probably the first time that's happened in like a millennia in Utah. I mean, just oh my gosh. And I just don't get it. I mean, Quinn Snyder, like, what is happening? Is he having, like, an existential crisis or something where he just doesn't know how to play basketball anymore? It's unbelievable.
Listen, I tried to tell y'all last year we needed to let go of Quinn Snyder, but nobody wanted to believe me.
No, we're not letting go of Quinn Snyder. because that's a
Now
stupid
y'all are
decision.
trying to believe- No, listen. We're not winning a championship with Quinn Snyder as our coach. We're not winning a championship. Regardless, I know that the realistic answer is that you got to keep Quinn Snyder. Blah 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 blah. Let's keep it real. He is not going to be a coach for a championship team. He's not. He's not a coach. And you know it deep down, Blake. I know sometimes you don't want to admit it, and I know sometimes Jazz fans don't want to admit it. And listen, I'm not normally like this. I still believe in this team. I still think there's a way for us to get to the Western Conference Finals, and I've said that from the beginning of the year. We have the team to do it. We just have to be in the right spot. We have to play well. We have to play better defense.
Right.
We've got to make some trade deadline.
And not only that,
Quinn Snyder is not an elite coach. And all championship teams, not all, most championship teams have an elite coach.
Yep.
And I'm not saying directly to fire him, but he's got to make adjustments. But when we say that all the time, but we haven't seen any true adjustments yet. That's just where I'm frustrated. As a fan, that's where I'm frustrated. The same thing about the play calling, about, against the Lakers, leaving Clarkson in too long. It's a series of things, and it's not just me. I'm just frustrated as a fan because I know this team can be better, and I want this team to be better.
Right. You're right. It sucks. It sucks as a fan to have a team, and Jazz fans. I mean, we are hurt. We have the past 4 years just been screwed out of the playoffs, and then this just happens. It can't happen. Quinn Snyder has to make the play. He has to get it done. And I agree with you guys. The Rockets are a good young team, and they're going to be special in a few years. But the Jazz cannot lose to a 13-39 team on any night.
Another missed free throw. All right. Timeout. Oh, we don't have any timeouts. Never mind.
Look at this. Conley's going to jack something up.
Shoot it.
And that's the game.
Oh, my gosh.
Well,
before y'all head
29-16.
Make sure to smash the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Blake, I will not be there, but Blake will be live on Friday for the Jazz and Pistons, and then we'll be live for a doubleheader. And then we will not be live on Sunday versus the Warriors. I don't think, Blake, you can't do that game. I'm pretty sure.
Which one?
The one on Sunday against the Warriors.
What time is it at?
I have no idea.
Well, it depends. I thought it was at 7:30, because if it's at 7:30, then I can totally do it. I think. I don't know.
So we'll be live for that one, too. And then we'll be live for the back-to-back against the Suns. The games against the Grizzlies. The streams are going to get way more consistent now that our schedules are cleared up. But just another rough patch for the Jazz. And listen, after January 23rd and my show ends, you best believe I'm making a lot of trade scenario videos, because I think everyone can agree a trade is needed for the squad. We've got to fix the perimeter defense. There's no other way around it. You've got to come at your problem, and if you want any shot at coming out of the West, you've got to fix that problem. Right now, this team cannot win the Western Conference.
No.
You go out and get a guy like Jeremy Grant,
then they can win it. They can win it.
Enter that discussion again, but this isn't last year's team. This isn't a 72-game season. This isn't the magic that we had last year. That's gone. We didn't convert on that magic last year. Now we got to get real. Now we got to make a move and do whatever we can. All right? I get it. I love Ingles. Yeah, I get it. A lot of you guys love Bogdanovich. I want a championship, and I want the pieces to give me that championship. And that's what Blake and I are going to try and find to do. And we're going to be making a ton of videos on it, trying to figure out what moves we've got to make to get to where we want to be.
And believe me,
chemistry, but we got to get past the second round.
And believe me, if there's anybody who wants to get that done and will get that done, it's Danny Ainge, okay? And the reason why I'm scared of Danny Ainge is because he has no heart. Obviously, when you trade IT away from your team in Boston, he's a cultural centerpiece. He's just the absolute best family man you could possibly have on your team. You trade him away for a better player, but it hurts your franchise overall. He will do that. If it's going to win a championship, he'll do that. So Joe Ingles, Bojan Bogdanovic, Heck yeah, they're on the table. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll I bet
Nate,
both of them will probably be gone. Both of them.
I don't think Bogdanovich. I think Ingles will. But Nate, we're not saying that the Rockets shouldn't beat the Jazz. We're saying that the Jazz shouldn't lose to the Rockets.
Shouldn't
There's
lose to the Rockets, yeah.
That's how it is. It's not that the Rockets shouldn't beat the Jazz. It's that the Jazz shouldn't lose to the Rockets. If you can kind of get where I'm going with that. But Bob Ross, we have a 2023 first-round pick and a 2026 first-round pick. You're telling me if we have Ingles a first-round pick, throw in Bogdanovich as well or Eric Pascal, we can get him. There is a way to get Jeremy Grant. Are we going to throw in enough pieces to make the deal?
If you ask, do we have the guts to do it? Look at Danny Ainge's track record and tell me he does not have the guts to make a tough move. He will do it in a heartbeat. He has done that so many times, and he traded KG. Traded for KG. Like, holy crap. That is not something that you just can do, you know? So we'll see. Vucevic isn't leaving the Bulls. They're a really good team. Danny Ainge will ruin the Jazz. But I don't know, Stick, because Danny Ainge, listen to me. He has never lost a trade. He won the IT trade. He did. Here, let me look.
Sure, in a sense, but and Viper, we are. I know that we haven't made a lot of videos this year, but we also haven't said we're going to make videos this year. But now that the show I'm in is ending, and I literally have all the time in the world on my hands, videos are going to start coming. After this Sunday, after January 23rd, there will be a video out on January 25th after the Jazz Suns game. On some sort of trade rumor. When is the trade deadline?
I'm looking to see what's going on.
59, that's too many, though. We're not going to be able to acquire a guy like them.
Okay, so we look
Russell
at
Westbrook. He's a part GM, I guess you could put it. It just happened a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, sometime around then.
So in 2015, Danny Ainge trades Isaiah Thomas. The Celtics receive. So this was for Isaiah Thomas. The Celtics receive Isaiah Thomas from Phoenix. At the time, they also get Jonas Jerebko, who also played with the Jazz, and Gigi Datome.
Yeah, I remember that.
From the Phoenix Suns. Now, what do the Phoenix Suns get from that? What do they get for this all-star Isaiah Thomas in the making? Marcus Thornton and a 2016 first-round draft pick. Look at that. That is a win by Danny Ainge. Then look what he does. He flips him. So if you look at the Jabari Bird contract flip, they got cash, so they opened up something. So that's not really a big trade, but he made that work. Then, shortly after that, in 2019, they trade Isaiah Thomas, and boom. He won that trade. He got Kyrie. That's a big deal.
He did. Even though it didn't pan out exactly how he wanted.
No. He built a super team. He built a super team in Boston.
What? Listen, it's gonna be a long couple weeks ahead for the Jazz. A tough stretch of games and some important decisions to make about the future of this team. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Alrighty. That is going to wrap it up for us. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Make sure if you have not done so already to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss any Jazz content here on the Jazz Huddle. Blake will be live for the Jazz vs. Pistons on Friday as the Jazz like to break out of another losing slump of 2 games in a row. We'll see you guys on Friday.